What is this?
It's like my intro music. Enough alone. One of these things is not like the other. Baby, that's the fun of me. Can't spell awesome without me and Danny. Baby, that's the fun of you.
Man, I love it. That's Taylor Swift. Welcome to the Hot 99-ish. And
Hot 99.
Right? You can't do it by yourself, right? Jessica Stroud.
Coming in hot.
Welcome. I can't thank you enough. In case you don't know Jessica, Jessica is one of the most awesome human beings that you'll ever meet. And she's out of the Midwest. And I'll let her tell you a little bit more about where she's from and what she does. And don't worry, we got it's always live over here at the Hot 99-ish headquarters. So I'm telling you that. You know things get live and unpredictable. So,
that's right. Anybody tries to walk in on our party, just ignore them. You don't see anybody. Hey, everybody.
We just welcome everybody in. So
come on in. Hey, I'm Jessica Stroud. I live in Kansas City. My husband, John, and I own an independent insurance agency. And I've been working in the business for about 5 years. Danny and I have been friends for at least 3 of those years.
I would say,
yeah. And I would say I'm a success. That's what I would say.
You are a success.
If you want me to get into specifics, I absolutely will.
I think you should. You single-handedly hijacked the color pink, though. That's all I know. So, and I don't think we've ever played Taylor Swift on the Hot 99-ish. So this is going to be a first, and this is kind of the official relaunch, so to speak. So,
all right. Well, you can't spell awesome without me. So here we go.
That's right. I love it. I love it.
So this year, I am happy to report that I am about to wrap up 2020 in all of the shit show that it was, with over 700 referrals into my insurance agency. Now, on top of that, I'm also a wife of 16 plus years. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. If you know me, it's not easy being married to this. All right. I've got 2 boys, 2 sons. One's in 5th grade, one's in 6th grade. So we've got all that COVID stuff going on. I am a runner, and I just it was last weekend. Oh gosh, it feels like forever ago. Finished my very first half marathon. I am a huge proponent, and I think it's so important that people have multiple identities, not multiple personalities, but multiple identities. Because when we get caught up in just being a wife, or just being a mom, or just being a business owner, something goes wrong. You lose your identity. You question your self-worth. I know a lot of people are going through some difficult times right now. So that's why I make sure I got all kinds of good stuff going on in my life, not just in my business.
You know, I love that. Hold on real quick. We want to give hold on. Let's see if we can get some round of applause for you. So hold on.
Listen, I will applaud for my own damn self. Yes, I will.
Right. I love it. I love it. Jessica, I love it so much. And listen, if you don't know Jessica, as a side note, she's started off as an Apex client. I met her back in the mortgage days, back when I had shorter hair. And then it just grew from there, both like the relationship. And also she's an Apex executive coach of ours. So
I am. Yes.
I can't tell you, Jessica, I think you arriving on the scene kind of changed the face, because, traditionally Apex was a very male dominated type of group. And
lots of black t-shirts and jeans.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, the earlier iterations, you think it was like the Marine Corps, it's like, but now we have a whole new face of Apex. And, as we started to have more and more people come to the network, working in more professional fields. Just talked to a CPA today.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So
one of the things that I have enjoyed so much about the evolution of Apex and all of the people in Apexes, since Ryan really leaned into the GCODE message and just really and realized that was his purpose, right? Helping us find the most elite version of ourselves. We're not just doing incredible in our businesses. I mean, we're starting to invest in different businesses, right? We're starting to do that. We are a super fly group. I mean, we look good. We are so fit. We're all working on our relationships and our bodies, and it's mind blowing, because it's not just about business. It's about that, but then it's about everything else too, the other parts of the GCODE. So it's so personally fulfilling for me to be a part of the group.
Yeah, and listen, if you're just jumping in here, the GCODE is about 4 main areas of your life: gratitude, genetics, grind, and your group. And Jessica, I kind of want to take the Hot 9 at 9ish in that direction too. And, I want you to share and talk about each one of those 4 categories and how, where you were in certain parts of your journey, so that people kind of get a better perspective of what that's done for you, then couple it with, your growth and your experience inside of Apex.
All right, throw the first one at me. Which one you want?
All right, so let's talk about gratitude first. Obviously, you started talking about some highlights, but let's talk about, where you were in the beginning. Like, where were you in the beginning? What was the thing that kind of flipped the switch for you?
So I've always been a very positive person, a person who, I'll say I can find the positive in a lot of situations, and it's just habit. It's gotten to be habit every night. When I lay my head on the pillow last night, even there's something going on in my business that I'm dealing with. It's no big deal. It's all about growth. It's good. We'll handle it. It's an opportunity for us. But I was just feeling frustrated, and oh my gosh, I'm like, no, what am I doing? I am so grateful for this and this and this and this and this, because like I explained to my boys, it's okay to want more. It's okay to have your lists and your goals and everything else that you want to do, but you got to be grateful. Be grateful for what you have while chasing more. But if you aren't grateful for what's happening to you right now, I embrace the struggle, right? I'm a little sore today, right? Because I worked out yesterday like we often do. I've learned to be so grateful for the struggle and the pain and the uncomfortableness. But if you look around and you can't find the good in your life, if you look around and you can't find the good in all of your relationships, you got some changes you need to make. But it all starts with, I'm so grateful for what I have now, because that exudes an energy to bring more greatness to you and to bring better things to you while you're appreciating what you have.
So what's a quick way that you get out of a challenging or difficult situation, a force of average type of situation, and get back to gratitude? What's one thing you do?
So I like to remind myself, hashtag real problems, right? First world problems. Are you really, like, you're upset about this? This is a problem for you? So the force of average came at me really hard last week with my half marathon, right? So I was for those of you who might not know, the force of average is kind of a philosophy that we believe in. As you're climbing your ladder, as you're setting bigger goals, as you're doing more amazing things, what we call the force of average is going to come at you. It's going to test you and it's going to say, oh, do you really want this? Like, I'm going to turn you into a diamond, but girl, you're going to be under pressure for a while. Can you handle it? That's what the force of average says, is can you handle the level that you're about to accomplish? It's like a video game. You got to learn these skills here before you can go to the next level. So 2 days before my half marathon, my knees started really bothering me. And I've had problems with my knees before. So I was like, oh, hell no, that is not happening. But I recognized, oh, I'm about to do something great. It's so funny when it comes at me now, I'm like, oh, this is good. If you're just sailing through, you're not going fast enough, you're not going far enough. And then the day before, I woke up and I almost couldn't get out of bed. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was like the vertebrae right between my shoulder blades had locked up. I could hardly move. Listen, I've had 2 babies. I know what pain is, all right? So when I say it hurt, it was really uncomfortable. So my husband's like, you're not running your race tomorrow. You know that. I'm like, no, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And it was just the belief of, oh no, this is the force of average. I anticipated it. I saw it coming. And guess who showed up at the starting line at the half marathon the next day? What? We crushed it. But you know it's coming, right? And so that's such a big part of Apex is we talk about this. We don't hide the struggles. Let's talk about it because we know it's coming. It's coming because we're getting better. It's like when we work out and your body hurts. Well, you knew it was coming because you're getting better. You're getting stronger.
That's right. I love it. No, I love it too. And it's a simple, I think the attitude is half the battle. If you see that there's a way out, I love how you welcome it. You're like, please come to me, adversity. I welcome you. Please come to me. Because on the other side of that, we always talk about that too. There's number one, you're being tested for your threshold for pain. And a lot of people, like, we get weak sometimes. We're just like, we wimp out. And the fact of the matter is that's the time when we really have to double down and buckle up, right? And I love that because your disposition is like you have two choices. You can go, kill me now, or you know what? Thank you. Yes.
Refine me through the flame. Let's go.
Let's go. I got my
you could sit your ass on the couch and eat Doritos all day and you're not going to be tested. The force of average is going to be like, okay, great. You're just fine. I'll go and mess with somebody else who's trying to do big things in their life.
That's right. And then you'll never go beyond the couch. And that's not where you want to be. So
don't die on the couch.
Don't die on the couch. I love you. You need to make that's quote worthy. Don't die on the couch.
No. I stole it from somebody else, so I can't.
And you said that you repurposed and give him credit in the memes. So
that's right.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about the next phase, which is genetics. You already addressed some of that, but tell us about like your genetics. Were you always a runner? Were you always in peak physical condition?
No. You can, if you're curious, you can actually just scroll through the last 6 months of my Facebook news feed and you can see the physical transformation that I've been able to make. So there are times when I feel weak. I feel just fluffy. I feel fluffy and unchallenged. And so like so many of us in Apex have done earlier this year, I decided, okay, well, here's the real story. So I did 75 hard, spoiler alert, that's what happened. However, I've known about that since probably for at least a year and a half. I tried it a couple of times, took a couple running starts and I failed. I didn't have the right reasoning. I don't know why I was doing it because what would happen is on day 4 or 5, I'd be like, my body hurts. Why am I doing this? Right. The why wasn't there. It wasn't my time. So I failed several times. But here's the thing about me is I'm okay with failing because I'm just going to keep trying. And then so I'm in Kansas City, when we went on lockdown in March or April or whenever it was, I was like, all right, here's my time. Right. I had allowed my eating habits and my food addictions to basically overtake me. And when, I hate to say this, but when COVID took away me going out and eating at restaurants and meeting up with people, it was an opening for me to say, okay, now's the time, right? When everybody else is sitting around. Now, did I get nervous? Oh, absolutely. I got nervous about COVID. What's going to happen with my kids? What's going to happen with my business? But I also saw that as an opportunity. Ooh, I've got some extra time to work on me. So I'm not, I wasn't a large individual to begin with. I'm about 5'10" and I was at 165 pounds, but I'm happy to tell you that I'm still 5'10", still got that. But the last time I checked on the scale, I was at 148 pounds. I know. And I got muscles. Let me show you.
Yeah. Oh, gun show. That's good.
Look at that. Yeah.
Jessica, congratulations.
Thank you. But that was important to me too. I don't want to, okay, this is my personality. You know me, but I didn't want to be skinny, right? I don't want to be a skinny girl. I want to look like I kick somebody's ass. I don't want to, but I want to look like I can.
Right. That's kind of a deterrent for those who want to be force of average and come at you, bro. Right?
That's right. Come at me. I got you. I've been working on my arms. That's right.
I love it. Well,
but however, what we're seeing is what I'll call a ripple effect, because what do we know as parents and as business owners and that when we start to lean into ourselves and make ourselves better, guess who started eating better? My husband and my kids. Guess who also started losing weight? My husband and my kids. My kids ended up setting a couple of goals, and over the summer, they trimmed up, they toned up. I mean, they were kind of a little pudgy to begin with, right? Because we just didn't have good eating habits, but they started running and they got better nutrition habits, and we worked on it as a family. And so what has happened is the whole ripple effect of, since I got in better shape and I started making that a priority, so did those around me. It's this beautiful ripple effect that is still happening. So it's pretty nice.
I love it. Congratulations on that too. And it's funny because somebody just joined up in our network in Apex, and one of the first comments he said when he came into one of the meetups was, "Oh my God, are you guys all ripped? Like, do you guys all
look
out?
good?
You guys all bodybuilders?" I'm like, because both the men and the women, some of the women have bigger muscles than the men do. And
yeah, we represent, that's for sure.
Yeah, y'all are tearing it up. And it's like, when it's like girl powers unite, they get together in the room. You're like, nobody mess with the ladies, okay? Because they're like, they'll beat you up.
You leave them alone.
Yeah, you leave them alone.
Well, people will say it's a perfect example of we know it, we've said it, whatever, we throw it around. It all starts with a decision. Now, had I not made the decision, people say, "Oh my gosh, you look so great. How'd you do it?" I changed what I ate and I worked out twice a day. Oh, I could never do that. That's your decision. You could never do it. I couldn't do it until I made the decision. You, Danny, you couldn't do it until you made the decision.
You're right. You know what? And I look back to going through 75 hard. It took me 3 starts, and it was always something different. It was either I forgot to read 10 pages, or I, forgot to take a picture. And I was like, you know what? I got to get this right. And, looking at the before and after, I was like, wow. You know what my thought was like, hey, that's not bad. When I posted the results in my stories, I got like 800 something views in there. And I've never gotten, that's like Ryan Stewart views, like at that
level. Is like Ryan Stewart views, yeah.
And I was like, okay, if that's what that effect was only after 75 days, what happens if I really go into it and really knuckle down, right?
It was a little disappointing, wasn't it? I thought, well, shit, if I could do that, what else am I slacking on?
Yeah, you feel lazy, like, you fat bastard. What are you doing?
Like,
right?
You just did that, and it's like, I could have went harder, I could have went faster, I could have done more reps in the same amount of time. But anyway, that's all right. We don't live with regret. We just move forward.
Yeah, no regrets, right? Yeah. So
no regrets. That's right.
No regrets. Well, you were kind of touching on this earlier about, like, last time we talked, it was 500 leads generated, and now like another 200, like exponentially, you've collapsed time somehow. So this kind of ties into your grind, to your work. What's happened in your business? Kind of explain like how you're set up and how you operate in business, because I think that's a big mystery for a lot of people. So everybody, well, I have a business, and we have this impression that there's only one singular person running the show. So like, kind of talk about your group.
Apex helped me with that so much. Helped me to become a business owner. Not so many of us, right? We start our business and we're the ones generating all the business. We're the ones trying to follow up with the business, trying to do in my case, do the insurance quotes, follow up, get the paperwork, do the customer service, do all that. And part of the attitude and the training around Apex really helped me to reevaluate myself and say, this, A, it's not a quality of life you want to live, and B, is it a really good customer experience? No, it's not. So what ended up happening is I became more focused on, okay, I've got to get a good team behind me, and I've got an incredible team these days that helps me with everything, but I got clear on what I needed to do in my business. So I am the person that basically, okay, here's a secret. I work with a lot of mortgage lenders and real estate agents. I look on a daily basis and say, how can I help them grow their business? That's my secret. I don't see, how can I sell more insurance? How can I generate insurance leads? How can I do this or that? I look at, how can I serve more and serve better and help build up those that send me business? That has been my attitude over the last couple of years. And when you do that, when people can tell. I teach social media classes. I teach my target, the people who refer me, I teach them how to generate their own leads. I help them with that. Like, I'll show them how, or I'll do it and give them the leads to help with that, because I'm trying to think more about others than I think about myself. And that's what's leading to 700 referrals this year, is how do I serve others and how do I help them get more of what they want? It's the whole classic, help other people get what they want and you'll get what you want. And
So give
so
some examples, like beyond the social media classes, that like things that you've done, like real little things that don't seem like really big things to most people.
So because of what I've learned in Apex, I'm very careful about my brand, right? So I had the opportunity to speak to a group of women the other day, Friday, at a lunch about branding. And I'm very careful about the message that I put out. I make sure that I'm someone that is looking to help other people. I make sure that I'm someone that is seen as positive and encouraging, and I learn things, right? I'm always learning things, right? With 75 Hard, we read every day, which we still read every day. Most of us do who aren't even doing 75 Hard. I read and then I teach that to people. So I help with the lead generation. I help make introductions where I can. I've had one of my top referral partners call me one day and say, how do you fire someone? You quickly is the answer, right? But I've set myself up not as just, and this is what we were talking about, multiple identities. I've set myself up not just as someone who answers insurance questions or can provide the quote you need quickly or whatever, but I've set myself up as almost like a business consultant. And the way that they pay me is by sending me referrals. So you say, I guess the benefit of sending me business, it's going to get taken care of. You can trust me, right? But you get to be my friend. And because I take that seriously, being friends with me has its advantages. I make sure of that.
See, I love that. I love that. And that kind of ties into group as well, because I think there are a lot of people that say, hey, let's be friends. But, our group goes a little bit deeper, and a lot of them are tethered together, though, if it's done right. So
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, like, just from a group perspective, like who's in your group?
So I have, obviously my group starts with my husband and my kids. That's always going to be number one. And in Apex, we take that very seriously, because you can have all the money, all the business in the world, but if your marriage is shit or you don't ever see your kids, that's a fail. That is not a win. You got $1 million in one hand, but you're on the brink of divorce. Well, your spouse is going to take half of it anyway. But it's not a win. We don't see just financial gains as a win. And so Stu kind of got on me last month and said, Jessica, where's your book? You need to write a book. And so one of the chapters in my book is, what do you bring to the party? I think so many times we go to maybe networking events or social events, and it's, what can I get out of this? No, what can you bring to the party, right? When you are going to someone's house or going to do business with someone, I make sure I can bring something to the relationship. Can I teach them something? Can I pour into them? Can I help solve an issue that they're having? And literally, one of the chapters will be called, what do you bring to the party? We can all be so self-serving sometimes. And when you flip it and say, how can I serve? How can I serve my group? How can I do that? For the last couple of years, the last 3 years for Thanksgiving, I'm not worried about what I'm having. I'm looking and thinking, where can I serve? And so this past year, we're not going to be able to do it this year, unfortunately, but I got a group of women together and we helped feed, I think it was 120 families. It was incredible. But it's like, what do I bring to the party? I organized it. I ordered all the food. I reached out to the ladies and said, hey, I want you to take 5 people. Here's what you need to, here's a check you need to write me a check, PayPal, Venmo, whatever. You're going to show up. I'm going to have these baskets ready with the addresses and you're just going to go and deliver them. So I did all the work and I allowed them to serve. And because of that, we were able to serve so many more. But that's just one example though. And because people see me as part of my brand, I want to be seen as a generous person. I want to be seen as a positive person, a charitable person, and it does take some work, but it's important to me that I'm seen as someone who serves others.
So
it's like magic. People just come want to work with me, right?
Well, yeah, no, but I love what you're saying too, but let's go a little bit deeper on that, because you said you want to be seen as a generous person.
I do.
And,
Yeah.
and why is that? What is that reason?
What do we have to talk about this? There were times when I was younger. Jeez. Okay. So I like to joke that I have a sense of humor, and I like to joke that I grew up on the corner of welfare and dysfunction, but I absolutely did. I grew up with nothing. I came from nothing, and I've been able to do something with absolutely nothing. And I just want all eyes on me so that people can see I'm doing when I don't have to. I'm pushing when I don't have to. I'm giving when I don't have to, because it's just what you do. I want people to look at me and go, well, if Jessica can do it, then I can do it. And my dad took off when we were super young, and my mom didn't have a whole lot. And if I can on purpose, right? We all stumble into these situations where, oh, I helped so-and-so with gas money, or, oh, I helped with this, or I helped with that. But if I can on purpose make sure that 100 families have a turkey and a pie and mashed potatoes and gravy and green bean casserole, and that they don't have to worry about it, I guess selfishly, that makes me feel so good to be able to do that. It's an honor to serve. It is a privilege to have the challenges and to be able to do the things that we do. I think we all just stop short. We have so much more left in us. There's so much more we can do. You know what? I'm just trying to burn it all up before I burn out. That's what I'm trying to do. Serve as many as I can before I die, because I'm gonna die someday.
It's like, I gotta go, so y'all need to come get some now. I love it. Jessica, yeah, I don't see you burning out, and I gotta tell you, it's refreshing and it's wonderful. And I think that, and I know for a fact that your presence, just not just because you're an Apex executive coach or a client, from before, it's just like, I think you making that decision, making the choice to say, hey, I want to do something different, and I'm going to go this way. And I know things are going to be hard. I think that that's what's allowed more people to come together. And I love that you're doing that. And thank you for sharing that too. I know that's a vulnerable thing. Nobody ever wants to go back and talk about that sometimes, because there's, two different thought processes. It's like, well, don't look back because you don't live there anymore, or you can't change the past, but you're viewing it. But it ties to the very reason why you're doing and becoming the person that you are right now.
So the whole premise of me is, you ask, oh, Danny, if you could go back and change anything about your past, what would you change, right? And for me, I look at the way I grew up. I look at the dysfunction. I look at the parents that had no idea what they were doing, who kind of treated me and my brother like hot potato, going back and forth. And to change anything would be to change everything. And where I'm at is so amazing. My heart is so full. To change anything would be to change everything. And I would never change any of it, because right here, right now, what I have now is just so amazing.
I love it. I love it.
And that's an attitude. That's a choice. That is an attitude.
Yeah, I love it. Jessica, people need to connect with you. So tell them how they can connect to you, all of your links and socials.
I'm on the Facebook, obviously, right? So Jessica Stroud on Facebook. And then I am getting much better. I'm learning about Instagram and getting much better at Instagram. And so I'm Jessica Stroud _ Lady CEO on Instagram, because I am the CEO of my own life. It is by design. It's by choice. Okay.
What is the IG handle one more time?
Jessica Stroud _ Lady CEO.
Lady CEO. I love it. I love it. Well, with that said, I think we need to wrap the Hot 9 at 9ish. And thank you for being here today. I think we only need to take it out one more time. True Fashion. Don't forget, Hot 9 at 9 is brought to you by Phone Sites. Go to phonesites.com/love. Build a landing page, a website in 5 minutes or less. Jessica used it to build her business, and you can too. So
I love Phone Sites.
700 referrals and counting. It starts there. Gotta have a good attitude though first. All right, here we go.
That you'll never find another
like me.
I never think before I jump into the kind of guy that lays. And there's a lot of questions out there.
That's it, Jessica Stroud. Make sure you connect with her. You're awesome. Hot 9 at 9ish. Go to breakthroughacademy.com too. We got room for you in Apex. All you gotta do is reach out.
Come sit next to me.
Like a rainbow with all the baby doll when it comes to a lover. I promise that you'll never find another like me. I'm the only one of me. Baby, that's the one of me. You're the only one of you. Baby, that's the one of you. But I promise that nobody's gonna love me like me.
I know I tend to make it about me. I know you never get to